Well, hello, this is James Hecker, Mortgage Advisor, NMLS number 214601. And today I want to just talk to you about the difference between a home inspection and a property appraisal. So a home inspection is when you buy a home, your realtor will usually refer an inspector to you. You can find your own, but realtors generally have people they know that do a good job. And so you'll hire an inspector to take a look at the property for defaults, potential defaults. Make sure the air conditioning and the heating is working. Make sure the roof is looking like it's okay. If it has some problems, you may need a roof inspection, and that's different. But make sure the plumbing is working, things like that. And so that is an inspection of the condition of the property that is for your protection, so that you take a look. Maybe it's the septic. There's septic, and there's a inspection, just kind of taking a look at all these things. And there are specific and specialized inspections as well. If there's a problem spotted, you might need a roof inspector or a well inspector or a septic inspector. There's different kinds of more in-depth inspections, but in general, a home inspection just takes a look at the condition of the property for your protection. Where a property appraisal, and by the way, you hire the home inspector. Might be referred to you by the realtor, as I had said, but you hire the home inspection, and that report comes to you. With a property appraisal, that is ordered by the lender, and there are regulations in place that put up a firewall between people who can speak to the appraiser, so that there is no undue pressure on the appraiser to bring a property in at a certain price. And so when I do a loan for somebody and I take the application and I turn that in, then the appraisal is ordered through a third party within our group, and I can't determine who that appraiser is, nor can you. And I cannot talk to that appraiser about value. I can talk to him about other things, about helping schedule the appointment, or if there's an issue with the amount of square footage or an addendum or things like that. I can talk to the appraiser, but I cannot mention value. That is regulatorily prohibited. And so the property appraisal is more for the protection of the lender. It determines your collateral for the mortgage loan. And then you can get a copy of that, from your lender, but you can't just take that anywhere and use it. There's limits on transferability of an appraisal. Again, it's to protect the lender and determine collateral. Now, it does protect you as well. So if you're buying a home for $600,000 and the appraisal comes in for $550,000, you may want to know that. Now, in a competitive marketplace, you may want to go ahead and pay the $600,000. You may want to pay more than what the appraised value shows, because that's what the competitive market is demanding. And so the appraiser then looks at other sales within 1 square mile of similar type properties, square footage and bedroom count and things like that, and determines what the appraiser's opinion is of that home's current market value. And it is an opinion, it is not a science. So there can be a difference in opinion between appraisers. But basically, that's the difference. A home inspection looks at the condition of the home and the systems of the home, so that you're made aware if there's any defaults or any problems with that. Where the property appraisal is for the purpose of getting a mortgage, whether it is a purchase mortgage or a refinance mortgage, it's still required for the lender to determine the collateral. Now, there is some exceptions to that. There is now what's called automated valuations, which allow, if there's enough data in the area of that property, to where we can electronically get a value that we can depend upon you may not have to have an appraisal on the property, or you may be able to do an abbreviated appraisal, and that will save you some money. So that is an exception to having to have a full appraisal, but you don't know that until you've applied for the loan. We've submitted to the underwriting engine to determine the approval on the loan, your approval as well as the property's approval. And that is one way that you may end up not needing an appraisal. Otherwise, you got to have one. Even if you just bought the house 3 months ago, 6 months ago, you might think, well, I already know what it's worth. But the lender will require either an appraisal or an automated valuation to determine the collateral. So if you have any questions about the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal, or if you just want to know more about what an appraiser does and what that process is, by all means, let me know. Leave a comment down below or give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. And anybody that you know that wants to know that information as well, please forward this to them. Have an absolutely wonderful week, and thanks for listening.